a quantity surveying background as well. And this is just to highlight one of our key projects we are currently doing. The finalists at the World Doctoral Festival Award in Berlin. I led the team there. This project is somewhere in Lagos and ongoing, just to show you that my perspective of project management has been with dealing with people from the construction sector. However, project management is not limited to construction. In fact, the origin of project
We can't tell you again, sir. We can't tell you again.
Management is actually from the IT world, for quite a number of us who are very much familiar. So quickly, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Clearly, sir.
Okay, so I said predominantly, whilst I practice project management in the construction industry, okay, project management itself started from the IT world, all right, and off to all professions right now across all board is also now doing project management. So just to give you that perspective. So let's quickly run quickly before this internet seems to be not on my side today. So generally today we're going to talk on why, what, and how, why project management, what project management is all about, and how we actually do project. Now, this is not a project management, a pre-exam class. So I'm not necessarily going to be talking about me. So why project? Okay, can on the screen. Candy, unmute and explain what you can see. Candy, explain it. Very quickly, please. Anybody there?
Can see a man in the restroom.
Yes.
Trying to use the toilet room.
Yes. Okay, but there's something going on with all of this. He's trying to use the toiletry. What has happened? There's an expression.
I'm having a terrible network problem. I don't know if you can share this slide, you know, maybe you can send our email. Because the network is terrible. I can hardly hear you. It's just
I think the toilet roll is finished.
Can anybody else explain what's on the screen? Okay, so naturally, let's try and move quickly then, because time is not really on our side. There's a gentleman who is trying to use the restroom and only realizing that he has no tissue, as it were, to clean up after he has done the do, as it were. So the management lesson here is that do not start a system or a process without you having all the necessary resources available. And this speaks to the essence of project management itself. What am I trying to manage? Project management as well. Okay, what exactly it is I'm trying to manage. All right, so let me just speak as fast as possible. So in life, there are three things that happens in life majorly across board. One, that we are constantly going to make choices. We are going to have to say whether I'm going to the right or I'm going to the left direction. You're going to get to a junction, a point in your life where you need to take a decide. The second thing that also happens in life constantly is change, as you can see from the butterfly, like it were, the way they grow from where they were given birth to, and they get into that stage of flying. So there's always going to be change constantly. And the third thing again is that growth is going to happen. So as much as possible in life, you always go through these things. And this is also trying to lay a layer for project management. So naturally, one way or the other, Project management is all about life management, the choices you make, the changes that you make along with those choices and how you grow. By the time you take a particular choice, it describes the way and manner you are going to change there's a perspective of what you want to do. And as you go along that route, there's a growth system that is expected. So the whole of project management is actually confirmed into these things called choices, change, and growth. Your choice will lead to a particular action that will cause you to change a particular pattern. Continuing in it then also shows some kind of growth, maybe in terms of experience and what have you. Okay, so what I usually try to say about project management, okay, apart from a professional point of view, that your life itself, the way you live your life, okay, is actually a project. You yourself are a project, and project management can be like, why exactly should you bother about life management? Okay, people are making choices every day. Oh, I want to get married. I want to have the best of marriage, as it were. I need to make a choice. All right, I need to make a choice. I want to live in a very beautiful house. Okay, that also needs to do with life. All right, and of course, lastly, oh man, I want to have money. A lot of us in this are into these three basic things in life. I want to have a happy home, shelter. Do you understand? I want to have a good marriage. I want to build a good family, live in a good house, and I want to have access to finance. So at the end of the day, you realize that number one, my choice of who I get to marry or how I get to spend the rest of my life is important. Some of us say that, oh, if I don't have this house, that means I'm a failure. And of course, people also say, see, for me to get this money, what kind of risk am I going to have to take? So in all of this, okay, these are things that constantly drive how people live their life, as it were. We are scared of failure. There's risk need to be taken, choices need to be made, and of course, somebody say, "Oh, I don't even have the resources to deal with all of these things." So these are the things that makes one want to really take into life management. What do I want to become at the end of the day? What do I want to be known for? What are the things I want to achieve? The kind of choices I made, the failure. Okay, can I actually make this kind of investment? So all this is bordered into life management. I remember I said project management itself can also be termed to life management. So it becomes a being, it becomes part of you, it becomes a lifestyle. And when it becomes a lifestyle, it also becomes easier for you to adopt it and the things you want to do. So let me try and move forward quickly. Our time is against us. The first thing I was going to say is, what then is project management? Okay. Simple definition, people say, is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service, or a resource. I underscore the word temporary, and is a unique product, meaning that when you say you're having a project, it's not something that is done forever. All right, it's a temporary system, meaning it has a time frame, is a unique product and a service. Okay, so a temporary, a unique system, all right, and that has a time frame of things or services or results that needs to be done. So project is defined that way. And of course, what then is a project? And the typical example is what you can see on the screen. You see how the customer explained it, how the project leader understood it, how the analysis designed it, how the programmer wrote it, and what the customer really needed. Okay, so the project itself is, how do we get from point A to point B in terms of making sure that what exactly the client wants is what you are delivering. And a lot of you can bear witness to this. Some of you, maybe even with your people you work with, oh, go and get something from me, and they come back, they come with something else. So you can see the intricacies with all of these things, the way a manner is explained, the way a manner is executed. These are the issues there. And this is what projects are usually like in the real sense. Somebody say in construction, for instance, oh, I just want a 3-bedroom flat. Nobody's saying how wide must the rooms be? How tall should the house be? What kind of tiles do you want? What kind of doors do you want? You just told me a 3-bedroom flat. So people can take these things and interpret it in different ways that they want. So let's try and move forward a bit. So what then is project management? Project management would then be that application of knowledge, skills, tools to project activities to meet project requirements. Remember, a project is a temporary endeavor that is done to arrive at a unique product. But when you add the word management to it, okay, it actually just means that, see, in what way and manner can I apply some skills? In what way and manner can I apply some techniques in order to get me from point A to point B for me to achieve this project? So in the essence, The whole of project management has to do with the application. And of course, it dates back to before Christ in 2630 BC, pyramids of Egypt, Great Wall of China. Also, those are the things that alluded to history, as it were, as the beginning of project management itself. Okay, so dating back to that. So let's try and take a step forward. How then is project management practiced? All right, so naturally, when it comes to project management, it's really dealt with amongst basic constraints. Constraints means that, see, there are some key things you need to look out for if you are trying to work on a project. How much will it cost me? How long will it take me? And what exactly it is that I want to do? Okay, those are the major factors in the project. And of course, what is the outcome going to look like? They are called constraints. So for any project you are working on, you want to talk about, even if I want to buy a car, for instance, okay, how much is this car going to cost me? Okay, between now and next month, okay, without the time I need to buy this car based on my savings, what type of car am I even talking about? Is it a Mercedes? That is the scope. Okay, what quality of Mercedes Benz am I not talking about? So naturally, projects are usually guided or implemented, as it were, around this constraint. And not just this, there are some other things, okay? The scope is the reason and the purpose for the project. The timing, careful identification of tasks to be performed, accurate estimations of their duration, and of course, balance between not running out of money and not underspending. When it comes to quality, combination of standards, criteria to which the project products must be delivered for them to perform effectively. So naturally, these are all various constraints. Additionally, there are risks involved as well. Okay, what can go wrong? All right, this project I'm trying to do, is there anything that can happen that can make me not achieve it? Oh, they've removed subsidy. Oh, the petrol price is going to go up again. Does that mean that the cost of this Mercedes Benz is going to go up? FX is going up. So those are risk items, uncertainty that will affect the outcome of this project you want to do. Another thing is that do we even have the resources, as it were? How much money do I even have? How can I even get this money? What is my salary like? What is my monthly income like? Do I have the resources? Do I have the wherewithal, the people, the tools to actually make sure do I even have a job in the first place to think of how to get the money? Okay, so potential external events that will have a negative or positive impact on your project if they occur, that is risk. And resources, that they can be people, equipment, facilities, funding, or anything else required for the completion of a project activity. And lastly, will I be satisfied when I get this car? Or will my client at the end of the day be satisfied when I finish this building for them? And how do you measure satisfaction? How do I know whether when I do everything, it will be fine? So some of our clients, particularly with the construction industry, you realize that even if it's you're building a residential apartment for a couple, you realize that for them, satisfaction at the end of the day is that even if the man is the one paying, just make sure my wife is happy. Once my wife is happy with the outcome, I am fine. But it is not the wife that is paying you. It's not the wife that is telling you that it must be 3-bedroom flat, but my wife must be happy. So it goes into identifying the key stakeholders you need to work with. So what will you be when you say you are satisfied? What does it mean to be satisfied? Are you saying that finish it on time? I don't care about the money, I will spend it. Or I don't care about timing, I just want the best. So how do you define satisfaction? So these are all constraints that the good project manager will have to put in place to work on any project as a manager. So again, time, cost, scope, resources, quality, and risk. These are all natural constraints. And there are so many other things that people also look out for when you're talking PM. So again, this is just an overview, trying to lay a foundation for what it is that you do as a project manager. Of course, a project life cycle, just an overview. A natural project, whatever it is, whether you're buying a car, you want to build a house, you want to send your child to school, you're trying to pay your rent, there's always an initiation, a place where you decide, okay, see, this is what I want to achieve. There's also going to be a stage where you say, how do I plan to achieve it? What is my plan? Okay, then you go into, okay, I have this plan. When do I want to start executing? Once I'm executing, meaning once I'm getting this money saved, once I'm getting this job and I'm saving this money, or once I'm building this house, how do I need to monitor that my execution is in line with what I initially planned, which is, okay, I must save every month, I must save every two months, I need to monitor and control. And at the end of the day, I need to close it because the project is not done in perpetuity. It is bound by time frames, if you understand what I mean. Okay, so these are just general stages to project execution in terms of project life cycle. They are generic enough. And I think PMP also tries to embrace this a lot. Prince 2 also have their own style. But generally, if you look at everything, projects will always go through this particular phase. I'll begin to round up. So if you're going to be a good project manager, there are some certain things you must know. You must know how to apply knowledge, standards, and regulations. You must understand your project environment. You must also have interpersonal skills, and I'll try and explain. Every industry has standards and regulation. Knowing which one affects your project before you start the work will not only help the project to unfold smoothly, but also allow for effective risk analysis, meaning I know this, I have an understanding of what's going on in the environment. I can plan properly. I can tell what is going on. What is the standard? If I want to build a house in Najangbadi, for instance, what is the allowable standard in Najangbadi? If I want to go into hospital equipment and supply, what is the standard for hospital equipment and supply? If I want to go into IT creation, if I want to begin to give as a consultant, I want to go into business. What kind of business do I want to go into? Do I want to go into training as a trainer? What are the things going on? That's what I mean. I will deal with clients, customers, or project members from different environments can be critical to the success of the project. And of course, last but not least, you must also have to bring the ability into the project to manage personal relationship and deal with personal issues as they arise, which is, of course, communication, leadership, negotiation, motivation, and problem solving. So again, will you manage your life better? Will you risk failure, a waste of resources, time and money, or will you do otherwise? What skill set do you need to start developing? Would you rather get deeper understanding of the game that says that, see, a lot can be done in project management, apart from the fact that I personally believe that it should be a lifestyle. If you want to manage your life better, you must have an understanding of project management, meaning that you as a person, as an individual, you are already practicing project management because you're actually managing your life. But if you want to be better at it and also use it to derive value, to bring value to some people, to your job, to what you do, this is something that I think can be done. People are doing certifications, people are being employed as a project manager, and it has an international appeal to it. It is not limited to one country or to one area of business or expertise. You can use it to work anywhere and in any environment, in any profession. So a big thank you to every one of you. Sorry for the mix-up initially. Then I'll be open to questions if time permits. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir, for this session. I understand the network issues. Please, if there are questions, does anyone have questions? You can drop your questions on the group chat if you would prefer that. Questions with regards to project management. Okay, someone has a question. It says, how do you deal with dissatisfaction in project management?
Okay, so dissatisfaction on the part of who? On the project manager, your clients, your customers? What exactly do you mean by dissatisfaction? Can you probably unmute and probably clarify your question?
It said, or the client.
Okay, so you need to define what it is from the very beginning. I think a lot of us go into project management without clearly defining what it is that the client will see as satisfaction. I think satisfaction is the ultimate goal. You can finish a project on time and within budget, and your client is not satisfied. So that is a big constraint on your project. That means that project is not successful. A successful project is a project that at the end of the day, the client is satisfied and happily received, irrespective of time, cost, quality. So what is satisfaction to your client? What I usually advise is that at the beginning of every project, you sit with your client and have what we call initial client engagement, ICE. Sit with your client. Beyond the technical abilities, things like that, tell me, what will make you happy at the end of this project? What is more important to you? Is it that you want the colors to stand out? Is it that, see, my satisfaction is going to be just deliver it on time? That's what I want, anything it takes. If delivering on time means spending beyond the budget, I am okay. I just want to deliver it on time. So that becomes your priority in terms of how to gain client satisfaction. Some clients will tell you that, see, I don't care how long it takes, right? I don't care how long it takes, okay? But I want the best of the best. I want quality. So when you say quality, what kind of doors are you talking about? Can you show me a picture in terms of quality of doors? Okay. You want me to get you a car, for instance. Can you show me an idea of the kind of car? If I'm into IT, if I'm into supplies, for instance, and you say, oh, I just want the best, sir, can you give me an idea of what the best is? Even in construction, we realize that some of our clients don't even understand the floor plans. They don't understand the designs on paper. It is when you build, they come and tell you that, this kitchen is too small. Oh. I'm not happy with this. So because of that, what we do is that to say, see, and I think that's what Agile too tries to do in the PMP style, do it in piecemeal, as it were. Even before we finish the building, we more or less just lay a course block and tell our clients, see, come and look at it. Before we go all the way, we just done 1 or 2 courses of block work. Come and see physically how your kitchen will look like. Should we continue? So those are the kind of things you need to build into your system and your processes so that your client is carried along the way. And at the end of the day, understand fully what satisfaction means to the client. Some people, they'll tell you, just make sure my wife is happy with the work at the end of the day. So you must find a way to be meeting with the wife occasionally, have meetings with her, send her updates, even though she's not involved. You just want to tell her that this is what we are doing. So again, define it carefully, sit with your clients, engage and understand what satisfaction means. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. I don't know if there are other questions. I hope the question was answered to your satisfaction, Mr. Shegun. Okay, do you have any other questions? Mr. Bayo, do you have a question?
No. Thank you.
All right. If there are no further questions, I think this would be the end of this session. Thank you, Mr. Bolaji, once again. I think we've learned a lot with regards to managing projects. Thank you very much, sir, for taking us through even the history, pinpointing times in past where project management started from. Thank you once again. So
thank you for having me, and apologies for the network glitch.
No problem at all, sir. Is that? Oh, the next session will be starting shortly. Just stay on the call. Thank you.